Okay, decided to swap out my dishwasher. Some very nice people named Michelle and Charlie bought a different house and they upgraded their dishwasher, so they gave me theirs. The newer ones on the right. My 25-year-old unit's on the left. It still worked, but figured I'd just upgrade. I don't use it that often. It's got the old push buttons on it. So I got into this project. I thought it would be relatively straightforward. You can see here by these brackets that this one here sat out further. Basically, the countertop is right along the edge of these brackets, so this one here will sit much more flush. The door will sit flush with the top of the countertop, which would be pretty nice. And it's a stainless unit. This one here's got I kind of put some fake stainless on the front of it just to make it look stainless, and it helped out a little bit, but it was time for a new one. I ran into some water connection, wouldn't call it issues, definitely had to do some upgrading on that, and I'll turn these over and kind of show you what I came up with. Okay, back. Got the units turned over. This is the old one here. It had this threaded fitting which went to a compression fitting, which went to a flexible hard line that ran over to a valve under the sink, about 3 feet away or so. So I thought I'd unscrew that, cut a little piece off, get a new compression fitting to go to the new one. Now the new one's got this set up here. It's got a hose connection, like a garden hose connection type thing. So I figured I'd just get an elbow like this. That's got a 3/8 compression. Go to my 3/8 hard line and be done. It turns out that 3/8 hard line is a 1/2 inch hard line. A flexible line. It's smaller than a 1/2 inch hard copper pipe. So I thought it was 3/8 of flexible line of copper, but it's not. It's 1/2 inch, which is, like I said, smaller. I guess I didn't realize that. So basically, I decided at that point that I'll just go with braided, so I cut it off a couple inches past the valve. It's all soldered on. I wasn't going to mess with that under the sink, so I cut it off. I managed to get a hacksaw in there. It's about the only thing I did in there, just the blade itself, and cut it off a couple inches from the valve, put a 1/2 inch to a 3/8 inch reduction compression coupler, and then run braided, and braided a screw right onto this. And that's the best way to go with something like that. You know, messing with that 1/2 inch line, there was a whole host of fittings I would have had to put right here to get it to work, and it would have been potential leaks and too much to deal with. So that's what I ended up doing. But I'll go inside and kind of show you the setup in there. Okay, I'm back inside. I already got this hooked up, but there's the braided line. It goes, the sink is over here on the other side of this panel. There's the braided line. I think the smallest they had was a 4 foot, which would be fine. I'll just push it back up against the wall. I figured it'd be a lot easier too. The connections are in a similar location. You can see that hard line. I don't know where it went down here, but here it is. The hard line, probably would have, even if I got it to work, it would have been probably kind of cumbersome pushing that dishwasher back in there with this. It's still rather rigid, and I know it probably could be done. It just would have been kind of a major hassle probably. So I decided just to ditch that, like I said, and go with the braided. Why they got all these new connections on these dishwashers, I have no idea. But it is what it is. So, like I said, I cut that off over here. I'll show you real quick. Get under here. You can see the condition I was dealing with here. There it is back there, and it is not easy to get to with everything in here. All these pipes, but as you can see, it goes from a compression, which is a 1/2 inch compression, down to 3/8 compression, and then that braided line just screws on. I initially cut it off over there where I just was showing you, but then I thought, man, there's no way I'll be able to check for leaks. So I had to put it somewhere, and I couldn't get I got a real small pipe cutter, but it still wouldn't go around that pipe. So I had to use a hacksaw and kind of finagle it to get it cut off, but at least I can check for leaks here. But that's the setup. If anybody else is doing this with that old flexible line, I think that's the best way, unless you got a valve where it's screwed on, or else you want to deal with solder. I didn't want to replace the whole valve mess back here. It's just too much stuff back there to mess with right now. Maybe someday that's another project, but for now I think it'll work. I'll get it pushed back in, and it should work good. So that's it. All right, bye.